Well folks, today is the day and I'm glad to announce that this video is about my new powder coating oven from the folks at builtamericaniquipment.com. I finally decided to spend the money and get a really nice big powder coating oven because I love to do all of my own work here in my shop. I don't want to hire out work to somebody else unless I absolutely have to. You know, on building this 67 Nova behind me, I've got lots of stuff that needs powder coated. For instance, that is my Detroit Speed independent front suspension system. Over there in the corner, there it is my Heights independent rear suspension system. Lots of stuff to powder coat on this car, and I'm really excited that I'm going to be able to do it all here in my own shop because I got one of these ovens from builtamericaniquipment.com. The purpose of this video is basically to just have a look at the new purchase and give it a shot and see how she does. The first thing that I want to tell you about this cabinet concerns the packaging. When I got this thing in here to my shop, I was very pleased to find that the entire cabinet was wrapped up in more than one layer of plastic wrap. Not just that, once I got off the first layer of plastic wrap, I found that the thing was wrapped up very well in like a wood siding material like you would put on the side of your house. I really appreciated seeing that because, you know, we ship LTL freight at Redline and a lot of it, and I've found over the years that if you don't spend the money on the wood around the product, it will arrive to your customer beat to hell. So I was really appreciative that these folks took the time to wrap it up as well as they did. Now, once I got my oven completely unpackaged, I got it moved into place, and then I got it wired up. I had a bit of an epiphany at that time. You know, the walls on this thing are like 2.5-inch thick insulated walls. However, the floor is not. The floor is completely flat and flush with the floor. It's not insulated. As I began to look into this and learn about these things, that's when I found that the smart way to do this, when you've got a couple 100-pound big heavy object like, let's say, a Detroit Speed independent front suspension subframe, is, you know, you powder coat that thing outside the oven, and then you need to move it inside the oven, but you somehow need to accomplish this without actually touching the product and compromising the powder that you just sprayed on the part. And the way that it turns out that you do this is with a great big cart where you hang it from the cart outside, you powder coat it, and then you roll it inside the oven. Now, the folks at the manufacturer make their own line of carts and shelves. You know, they have some pieces on the inside of their ovens here where their shelves hook in, and they also, of course, sell carts. However, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'm not really the guy that wants to buy something that I know I can make. So I built my own rolling cart so that I could powder coat outside and then roll it in there. And since I was building my own cart, I thought, you know what? This is finally the perfect opportunity for something I've been wanting to do on YouTube for years, my very first 1980s build montage. Okay, so now that we got that silliness out of the way, I've got to have something to powder coat, something big that I want to powder coat, and I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and refinish my patio furniture. I've got this great big old wrought iron patio furniture set. This stuff has been rusting outside for years and years, and it's quality furniture and it's still in great shape besides the fact that it just looks like crap. So I have got 6 chairs and a table. I'm going to go ahead and take one of those chairs and we're going to powder coat it. So the first thing I knew I had to do was get the old finish off of the chair. I started off by just taking my torch and just quickly running it over the finish to make what was on there really nice and brittle so it could be blasted off very easily. I actually started off blasting the chair outside before I finally realized, you know, wait just a second, Ian. Your REPP70 media blast cabinet is actually really huge, and that chair might actually fit inside of that cabinet. Once I had that epiphany and I got the chair in there, I blasted the finish off of it with no problem, got the thing cleaned down to bare metal pretty quickly, and it was finally time to take it and powder coat it. Okay, so I've got my chair blasted and cleaned up. It's hung from the cart that I've built. I'm almost ready to roll it into the new oven and bake it. I'm going to go ahead and try out this experimental Chinese powder coating system that I got out of China for like 500 bucks. Supposedly it's professional grade, but I don't know. So if you're watching this to kind of learn what to do, I would be careful and take that with a grain of salt. This is not exactly an educational video. This is just what I got going on, so wish me luck. Okay, I was really impressed with this new experimental $500 Chinese import, and keep in mind that's 500 bucks FOB China, so add in your shipping and your tariff to get it here, it's probably more like 700 or so, something like that. But I immediately noticed that the powder sticks to this thing way better than my Harbor Freight or my Eastwood gun, but this video is not about that system. If you guys want to see something about that that powder coating system in another video, just kind of tell me below in the comments. But as of right now, it's time to put this thing in the oven. All right, in the interest of being completely fair, one of the things I've noticed about my new oven here from builtamericanequipment.com is that my fan motor on the side is making crazy noises. Can you hear that? Let me put it up close. You can hear that something is not quite right there. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll ask the guys at the manufacturer whether or not that's normal. So finally it came time to roll the chair outside of the oven, and I was really pleased with the finish on the chair. It really looked fantastic and brand new. You got to keep in mind I was shooting silver vein powder coating, so it was not supposed to be smooth. It was supposed to have a texture to it. At the end of the day, I was really pleased with how the oven did, with the exception of the fan motor that made noise. A little bit more about that in the end of this video. As far as the construction goes of the new oven, I'm really happy with it. This thing kind of embodies what it's supposed to be made in America. They give you a really nice thick, like a fiberglass weather stripping to seal the door off. On the inside of this thing, their heating elements are covered. If you start shopping this thing, these ovens, it won't take you long to find ovens where these things are not covered. They're left exposed so you can damage them as well as burn yourself on them. So that really sucks. They do give you these slats in here so that you can make or buy a shelf where you can slide the thing in and out on that shelf if you want to. Obviously, I went the cart route. I do like that they put a wheel down here at the bottom of this thing, and that basically just takes all the weight off of the door, so I take one finger and I can easily close that thing, and it closes like you would hope it would, even though it's a great big heavy door. I don't know that there's really much that I can say about the wiring on this thing other than the fact that it's really big. You've got a panel over here on the side with a couple of heat sinks. I really haven't even bothered to learn about this little control box right here, because as soon as I flip the power onto this thing, it immediately starts making its way to 400 degrees. You give it a little time and you'll see that it already starts off, it'll probably start off 67 degrees is what it is in here. It's on its way to 400. So I didn't even have to learn how to program this thing and operate it. It just works right from day one, and I appreciate that. It is a 70 amp breaker in this thing, so the wire that you wire this up with, you could assault somebody with the wire on it. So just be aware in advance that if you're getting one of these things, you're going to either need to know something about wiring or need an electrician. The latches on the side of this thing are also like a really great big industrial grade latch, so that's pretty cool. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that the air circulation motor, this is responsible for naturally circulating air around the cabinet so that it doesn't get hot on one side and cool on the other, that motor was making a lot of funny noises. I sent a video of that over to the manufacturer, and they basically said, yeah, we've been having some problems out of that motor company, so they sent me a new motor, and I put it on the cabinet. Wasn't really that big of a deal. It was really surprising that they sent everything you could possibly need to do that job. Drill bits, sealant, Loctite, rivets, you name it. So it wasn't that big of a deal. I had to drill out a few rivets, pull the old one off of there, stick the new one on. You know, it was not rocket science. And the thing works quite well now. I'm pleased and really happy that they sent everything to make it right. That's really about all there is to know about my new powder coating oven. I'm going to put a link down below in the description where I got this thing in case you're interested in one. I worked with a guy over there named Tom who was really helpful, replied to all of my emails very quickly, so nice folks to work with. If you found this video helpful and you don't want to miss any of my future content, I would ask you please click subscribe down below, click the thumbs up so YouTube knows this is good content. You know, leave comments down below if you got questions. I commonly answer the questions even when I don't know the answers. So if I don't know it, I'll make something up. Don't worry. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a great one. Take care.